today we're gonna look at 5 of the differences between the AR-10 and the AR-15. POV, you're watching a politician who wrote the script for this video. Difference number 1, and you can trust everything I say because I am wearing a shirt that says science. The first difference is obvious because it's in the name, AR-10, AR-15. You know what those numbers mean? Those are damage ratings, my friend. The AR-10 only does 10 damage. The AR-15 has a 15 damage rating. You know what that means? That the AR-10 does less damage than the AR-15 because the AR-15 is a much more stronger damaging assault rifle. That's why, stronger damage.
POV, you're watching a video that was not filmed by politicians and actually makes sense about guns. So the argument that the AR-15 does more damage than the AR-10 is actually the opposite. The AR-15 shoots this little 223 or 5.56 bullet. The AR-10 shoots this 308 or 7.62 by 51. So if you put the two side by side, AR-15, AR-10. So there's a big difference in energy, and we're gonna show you that right now by shooting some water. We've got a gallon of water there. This is the much smaller 5.56 or 223. Big explosion, but wait till you see that one. Here's what our milk jug looks like after the 5.56. I'm a little bit wet. All right, this is the 308, much bigger round out of this. So we've got a gallon jug again, and we're gonna be shooting it from about 2 yards further back. Compared to our last milk jug, much bigger channel wound. There's your exit. Getting shot by this, it's a very bad day.
The second difference between the AR-10 and the AR-15 is the size and weight. The AR-10 is relatively light. You can pick it up, you can carry it, you can walk around with it. You really can do anything you want with it. Now, the AR-15 is a much different story. The AR-15 weighs about as much as 10 boxes when you're moving them.
It is as heavy as 10 boxes that you might be moving.
That is heavy. There is no reason why any civilian should own a fully semi-automatic assault rifle 15.
Now, there is a difference in weight, right? I picked this up, it is a little bit heavy. This specific build comes in at about 12 pounds or so. Fully loaded, might give a little bit more. And now, I don't know if you have ever helped anybody move, but if lifting 10 moving boxes was as easy as this, that job would get done a lot quicker. This AR-15, this specific build, comes in at about 7 pounds. Fully loaded, might give a little bit more, but it is almost just a little bit more than half the weight of the AR-10. So significantly lighter for the AR-15.
Difference number 3 between the AR-15 and the AR-10, the recoil. The recoil between an AR-15 and an AR-10 is very different. To prove it to you, I'm going to show you now. Here's an AR-15. Oh. Oh. Oh my goodness. I just shot an AR-15. I wish I hadn't.
I've held an AR-15 in my hand. I wish I had it.
But that recoil felt as much as a bazooka. Oh. No, there's no reason someone should own something that would do this to you. Oh my goodness. Okay, now here is the recoil of an AR-10. That was so nice. There is no reason anyone needs anything bigger than an AR-10. Why would you even want an AR-15? That is just scary. The recoil of an AR-10 is much more manageable.
Actually, there is a big difference in the recoil, but it's the opposite again. So the 308 has a much bigger recoil than the AR-15. Still manageable, but it is much bigger. So let's take a look now. We have just one round here. I'm gonna show you what that looks like. That's your 308. And for the 5.56, now think about that. Is that really like a bazooka?
No, brother.
Difference number 4 between the AR-10 and the AR-15, the bullet round that they use. The AR-10 uses this really non-scary, just regular old hunting round because you can go hunting with this. That's what people use it for, is to go hunting. It's not that bad. The AR-15 uses a 50 caliber bullet.
And the bullet that is utilized, a 50 caliber, these kinds of bullets?
It uses 50 calibers in round of the bullets. The 50 calibers bullets it uses. There's 50 calibers in the bullet.
30 magazine clip.
And it's honestly, guys, I cannot tell you, it is such a scary round. I'm not even gonna show it to you. It is just so scary, okay? Just know that the AR-15 uses the 50 caliber bullets, and then the AR-10 uses just a nice little hunting round.
So he shows you that the AR-10 shoots a little hunting round. While the AR-10 can be used for hunting, the round it shoots is much bigger. So you can see a side-by-side comparison. The AR-10 shoots something like a 308, where an AR-15 is gonna shoot this 223 or 5.56 NATO round. Just the bullet itself, not even to mention the casing, just the bullet itself, the AR-15 shoots a little 22 caliber round. And so while both can be used for hunting, the AR-10 is going to be much, much more effective because of the bigger bullet, the bigger casing. There's a lot more energy behind it. And so if I'm hunting, I'm gonna use this over this. And so the AR-15, some people say it shoots a 50 caliber bullet. What?
Nani?
This thing's not even close. There's a diagram for comparison. The AR-15 compared to the 50 BMG, not even close.
The 5th difference between AR-15s and AR-10s is that the AR-15 is a weapon of war.
Stoner designed the AR-15 as, and I quote, a military weapon to give our soldiers an advantage over the AK-47.
This kind of gun should only be used by military personnel. I'm just using this to show you. I'm not actually going to be using this because I'm not a military personnel. Whereas, the AR-10 is the civilian version of the AR-15. This is what civilians should be owning, not the scary AR-15. I don't really know how else to tell you, folks. It's for civilians. AR-15 is for military. AR-10s is for the civilians, just like you.
I have never heard of somebody in the military saying they prefer to shoot with an AR-15 over what they use. So a little bit of history behind how this came. Essentially, Armalite, which is what AR stands for, Armalite, developed the AR-10 prior to the M16. So they were submitting this for trials to the military to become the standard rifle. They kept submitting it, the military didn't like it, they kept submitting it. Eventually, the military said they like it, but Armalite couldn't afford to keep developing it. So they sold the design to Colt, who altered it, turned it into the M16, which then became standard issue for the military. And so later on, Armalite then developed the AR-15, which uses a much smaller caliber round. They started doing that to kind of keep on pace with what the military was doing, using a much smaller round. But one of the key differences in this and a weapon of war is this only has semi-automatic. The M16 initially had a 3-round burst or fully auto. So we have here safe, semi-auto, that's it. This is not a weapon of war.
All right, and those are some of the differences between the AR-10 and the AR-15. I just wanted to kind of make a video to showcase how there are a lot of preconceived notions, mostly due to being uneducated about firearms in general. But I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to like it and comment down below which one of these differences were your favorite, or if you learned anything new, or if you actually believe what a lot of our politicians are selling about these guns. Remember to make the world a better place. And as always, stay some. Dude!